Right, welcome, guys. Hope everybody is well. So we are obviously, yeah, bank holiday Monday. So a little bit slow. It's a holiday everywhere. Europe, um, let's just let everybody in. Europe, US, everyone's chilling. It's really nice weather. So I reckon there'll probably be a few, sore heads this morning. So right, let's obviously go through everything, in a bit of a basic way. We've obviously got, the the session obviously gapped or the week gapped open to the downside, quite a bit for the dollar. That's obviously a bit of a continuation from Friday. We've also very interesting. We obviously marked out our levels yesterday. So yields above this price, I think, are still always going to be a bit high, a bit overbought. So we've obviously got to keep monitoring this. We had this area of support here, which I'll go over a few more technicals this morning than I did last night, but obviously had this area marked up. Towards the end of last week, we broke through it Friday, but we broke straight back above. We're now coming to test. I do actually think yields might trickle down in towards this area. We've also got oil. We obviously drew up our amber, green, and red areas. Um, we're actually approaching the lows of sort of beginning of May here. All right, so that's quite interesting. Means obviously that there's a little bit less kind of not less worry, but worry is easing. Oil is dropping. However, this can obviously change at any time. It'd be really interesting to see what price does around this area. Are we going to continue down and come and test this low here? Or are we going to hold, and obviously climb and probably make this consolidation area up here, something like this, where we're trading within this, level, which is what I'm kind of expecting. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what we're kind of looking at here. We've obviously got stocks up quite a bit there this morning, which is what we would expect if we got yields down, if we got dollar down, if we got oil fly down, then that is what we'd be expecting. Stocks up, up 1%. I mean, it's crazy if you look at US 30 all-time highs. SPX 500 all-time highs, US 100 all-time highs. The stock market is flying. Obviously, we spoke about this beginning of last week about how the AI is obviously holding up the stock market. So any kind of strength that comes in will really push the stock market into kind of new areas. So yeah, let's wait and see obviously what happens, but I'm expecting today to be relatively slow. All right, so three pairs we've obviously ticked into today. GBP USD here. All right, just obviously triggered. We're in a little bit of profit here. I've kept stops nice and tight today. You can see here GBP USD. That is where it closed Friday. That's where it's opened up. All right, so 440 pip gap hit here. So let's wait and see. I'm not expecting to be in trades for too long this morning. Euro hasn't quite triggered yet. I'm happy with obviously this area here, and then Aussie has just triggered. So I'd stayed away from gold. Look at this bust up here, massive move. The first kind of hour, I think it was. We had a good 750 pip move, which as you can see here, this hourly move pretty much engulfed most of last week's price action here. All right, so that's obviously how heavy. buyers were coming into the market here. Once this move happened, very, very slow. I'm expecting today to be very, very slow. USDJPY, another one that we explained here. So that obviously, busted down about 40 pips. So yeah, we've obviously got a little bit of room here to make up, but I think the dollar is going to be the interesting one here. Are we going to hold this area, or are we going to break towards the downside? Let's wait and see what happens. But I do think it's going to be relatively slow. I'm going to see how we're doing, probably around 10, and if we're kind of doing something which I expect, where we're going to be doing something like this, then I probably will look to close out. We'll play around a bit in the US, but obviously, when we're looking in regards to our trading calendar here, I'm not looking for a big day today. I'm looking to, take some obviously money off the table. If you don't want to trade, I don't blame you. It's going to be slow, but yeah, I'd rather obviously not, leave money out there. But obviously, I am expecting, yeah, potentially I'd like probably two to trigger on both of these, or all three, and then we pop up and trade in a little bit of an area like where he explained. I don't think we're going to push much higher, but I also don't think we're going to push much, lower. So I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of a move like this, close out, job done, two trades. That's obviously what I'll be happy with. Same with GBP USD. I think we're going to struggle. We might creep a bit higher, but I think this load should hold here. So let's wait and see, obviously, what happens here. And obviously, yeah, we're very, very early. It's 8 in the morning. So yeah, we can obviously see what's going to happen here. Um, but that's about it from me this morning. Pretty quiet one. Everything is, hopefully, look, if you guys watch the, Sunday live, read through the PDF, it explains my macros. I sat down for hours, yesterday. It explains how to identify macros in a very, very basic way. And everything that is happening has happened. All drop, dollar drop, yields drop. What's happened? Stock market's pumped up. GBP USD's pumped up. Euro USD's pumped up. So we've got to be able to add this into our trading kind of arsenal. Because it's going to really, really help you. So right, does anyone have any questions? Any questions at all? Happy to answer anything. I'm here. It's bank holiday. Fire them over. Happy to answer anything. Just go through a few of them. So if we're looking at strongest to weakest, right now I'd say, yeah, US dollar is the weakest pair. For anyone who wants to, know how to identify pair weakness, if you do your percentage change in order, I always identify against yen, because it's very, very, very easy, because obviously yen is always on the right hand side. You can use any currency. However, just be aware that obviously, USD Swiss, for example, coming out at the bottom, that should actually be close to the top, because Swiss is on the other side. Same with CAD. So it's obviously a lot easier here. So we got obviously the dollar weak naturally, because obviously yields have dropped. CAD weak naturally, because obviously it holds one of the biggest oil reserves. So obviously oil drives CAD. So oil being down is not going to be beneficial for CAD. Then I'd put yen. Um, then I would put yen. But obviously, you can see here everything else. It's all the kind of currencies which are kind of flying high. Aussie up mainly because of gold. So Swiss also classed as a little bit of a, safe haven. So naturally, Swiss obviously had this nice pump here to actually dropped a bit, but then obviously has recovered Swiss yen. So let's have a look at USD Swiss. Real big jump here. Market opens, bang. So that's a really good way for obviously you to grade your pairs here. And obviously you want to, so Aussie trading against anything. So if you were trading, say for example, Aussie CAD, I don't think I've got, yeah, I've got that here. You can see here Aussie, strong. If you're doing Aussie against not USDJPY, but say Euro Aussie, Euro AUD, here we are there. Not obviously moving too much, but if you imagine market opens here, so Aussie is up on Euro. So it's quite a good thing to kind of always keep an eye on strength of currencies. So yeah. Bean, right, let's have a look at some of these things. Jersey wallpaper, yeah, it's my mum's. This is like her office, so it's yeah, some random wallpaper. Uh, Cake Man, being away a bit, have you made a video explaining what macros is? I would like it. Watch yesterday's live. Everything's obviously on my YouTube, so scroll through, but obviously watch yesterday's live because I went through everything. And yeah, it explained it very easily. So yeah. Does anyone have any more questions? Any more for any more? Otherwise, obviously, we'll end it here. Nice, swift one. Because yeah, there's not obviously a hell of a lot to speak about this morning. We got, like I'd said, pound in a bit of profit. Aussie, obviously been triggered, but obviously running in the correct way. And obviously, Euro hasn't quite triggered yet. So let me just, my OCD always kicks in. Just get rid of these blue lines. There we go. So yeah, we've got two trades running. So running overall in a bit of drawdown. I've got pound up and obviously Aussie down slightly, but obviously that's what I'm expecting. What I would also suggest before I go is that basically bank holidays are okay to trade. Just obviously drop your expectations. All right. So if normally you want to be making say 1% a day, just maybe drop it to half. All right, because we're not going to get these fluid movements that we normally get. So we want to obviously make sure that we're not overextending. We're not trying to grab things which aren't actually there, because sometimes slow markets can also catch you out too, because and it is the worst kind of market to obviously blow an egg count on, because you're trying to push it on a day where nothing's happening. It's a bit like trying to trade between 7 and 8 p.m. in the evening. Nothing's happening, no one's trading. So we can obviously capitalize on the expectation, but remember, there's a proportion of the markets that aren't trading, so naturally liquidity is going to be smaller. All right, that doesn't mean we can't trade. It just means we have to be aware that there's obviously not as much liquidity out there. So yeah, but apart from that, I will end it here. Enjoy bank holiday. Obviously, I'll update you with obviously what is happening. And I will also, yeah, well, I'll be back trading about 1:30 this afternoon. I might do it a little bit earlier today because we don't have any news coming out, and so I might do it a little bit earlier to try and capitalize on the kind of US market coming in. But I will keep you guys updated. But no, have a great bank holiday. Enjoy the sun. We don't know how long it's going to be here for in the UK. So yeah, and obviously I will keep you guys updated. Have a good one, guys.